Dang it, I can't get my games working. If only I had a pro to help me out. You rang? Yeah, my thing isn't working good. My games keep crashing. Can you fix it, Mr. Pro? Alright, let's get this problem solved for you. There we go, fixed. But you just turned it off. Yup, not crashing anymore, is it? I guess not. Here's your bill. $7,000? Would you like to add a tip? Okay. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. The question that we're here to answer is, what does it mean to be a pro? Does it mean you have special skills that let you do stuff that non-pros can't? That's what it should mean. That's what it means with humans. For example, I'm a professional dweeb. I can dweeb at levels that most people can only aspire to. But with tech, it feels like anything can be a pro. Companies just slap pro on the box and call it a day. Nobody can stop them. Certainly not me. I'm just a dweeb. Which brings us to this, the TrimUI Brick Pro. Compared to the original Brick, it's bigger. It has sticks now. I guess that's kinda pro-ish. Really, it's more or less the same thing, just larger. Depending on what you expected, that might be exciting or disappointing. But for me, I love it. I love the original Brick, and I love the Brick Pro for many of the same reasons. The bigger size is fantastic, nice and comfy. We also get this lovely retro beige aesthetic that really gets my juices flowing. And the sticks are there. You can use sticks now if that's something you enjoy. But everything else is classic Brick. Same chip, same performance, same software, same extras like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It really is just a bigger Brick, but unlike most products with Pro stamped on the box, this one actually has a reason to exist. Let's begin with an unboxing because unboxings are so important. In the box, we get some stuff. Here's a thing, and inside this thing, there's the thing. And under there is more things. Some of these things, one of those things, this thing with stuff inside. And yeah, there's just lots of things in the box. Nice box too. This lovely doodad was sent to me by the lovely dweebs over at LidNXT. They sell this for about $90 with free worldwide shipping. And if you want one, there's a link in the thingy below. And they also sell high quality pre-made SD cards, all set up and ready to rock. I'll tell you more about that later in the video, but you can get that with the doodad as a bundle if you're interested. And they have a 15% off sale going on right now too. So use this code on the screen to save some money if you pick anything up. Specs time. Inside, we've got a 1.8 GHz all-winner A133P, 1 GB of RAM, and 8 GB of internal storage. The screen is bigger now, 3.95 inches, 1024 by 768. And also, we've got dual Hall effect sticks now. Same Linux system as before, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a much chunkier 5,000 mAh battery instead of 3,000 on the original Brick. It comes in black, white, and retro gray. 3 exciting shades of rectangle. I should also mention that TrimUI has another device coming out very soon, the TrimUI Brick Hammer Pro U. Wow, what a name. That one has a metal body and it's an Android handheld with a Snapdragon chip inside, and it's going to be more expensive obviously. So really it's a completely different class of device. Hopefully I can get a review unit of that one to show you soon too. This is the Brick Pro though, and on the front we have a screen and a D-pad up here and 2 buttons that don't actually do anything in the middle, and some face buttons, left and right thumbstick down here, and dual front-facing speakers. Yay! And a menu button and select and start. On the left we have volume up and down and a system settings button. On the right we have a multi-purpose function switch and a power button. Underneath is the micro SD card hole, and this is a screw so you can screw yourself, and a USB-C hole for charging, and a headphone hole. Yay! Alright! Around back we have a light bar up here and a metal backplate, bumpers and triggers, another USB-C hole for OTG connection, and a ribbed texture for style and comfort. The original Brick was great for a few reasons, but one of the biggest was how pocketable it was. I made a whole video about using it as an everyday carry handheld. It was small, sturdy, and felt like it could survive being tossed into a pocket full of keys, loose change, and cookies. Trust me, I tested. The Brick Pro is a different thing. It's bigger, heavier, less pocketable, and now we've got wiggle sticks hanging off the front. So if you're looking for a tiny pocket buddy, consider the original TrimUI brick. This new one isn't really that. However, another thing that made the brick great was the value. The chip in here is more powerful than Amberlick's XX devices, but the brick always felt way more premium than the price suggested. The Brick Pro keeps that going. Nice plastic, metal backplate, clean design, and now we have this lovely retro DMG style colorway that makes me want to play Game Boy games. And I did. It was pretty great. The biggest upgrade though is comfort. The original brick was fine, but a little cramped. This thing feels spacious, luxurious even, like upgrading from a cardboard box fort to a bigger cardboard box fort. The plastic feels fantastic too, slightly textured, almost sandstone-like, and the whole device feels dense and solid. The backplate still gets a little bit warm when you're pushing the hardware, but nothing alarming. No emergency oven mitts required here. Even the sticks feel surprisingly great. Great placement. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be using the sticks much, but if you're a stick enthusiast, a stick connoisseur, a wiggle wizard, you've got sticks now. Enjoy. It's just a shame that we've lost some of the pocketability that made the original brick so great. Here, let's do a quick test with everybody's favorite tiny electronics mobility professional. Yep, I'm here, TechDweeb, ready to test whatever you need. Alright, nice. Here you go, temp. TechDweeb, I'm not a temp anymore, remember? Oh, right, yeah, I was just reading your job tag. My job tag? Tiny electronics mobility professional. Yeah, you know how it looks like it says temp. No, it's my job title. I'm a professional. Yeah, you're totally a professional with a title. It just looks like temp. No, I don't. I'm not. So don't you have a job to do? Oh, right. Yeah. I'll do the test. Okay, the Brick Pro is actually not too bad. It's definitely bigger and heavier than the original, but still pocketable. The sticks can snag a bit, and I probably wouldn't carry it around all day, but it's manageable. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 for pocketability. Not amazing, not terrible, a respectable pocket score. Alright, thanks, good job, temp. I'm not. The controls are basically identical to the original brick, which means they're really good. The D-pad and the buttons use clicky micro switches, but they're not loud. Everything feels tight, responsive, and satisfying to use. Good buttons, great D-pad input quality, Dweeb approved. Just like the original brick, the bumpers and triggers are removable, so you can swap between different styles. These are my favorites, but you got options like this or this if you want those. The big addition is the sticks, obviously, and thankfully they're excellent. No cardinal snapping, great precision, and they feel fantastic across the whole range. I also love the stick caps. This is my favorite shape of stick cap to use when I play games that I'm terrible at. My biggest complaint isn't really a complaint because I can ignore it. There's just a lot of stuff. Lots of RGB, lots of extra buttons, lights around the stick, lights around the buttons, lights up here, lights back there, and so many extra buttons and switches that they really don't do much. TrimUI needs to cool it on the flashing lights and buttons, man. It's just so much extra. Chill out, TrimUI. Calm down. Calm down! The screen is easily my favorite upgrade and probably my favorite part of the whole device, to be honest. It's fantastic. It's bright, sharp, and big. It's 3.95 inches, which technically is only half an inch larger than a typical 3.5-inch screen, but because of science, that works out to roughly 30% more screen area. The 1024 by 768 resolution is excellent too. Lots of systems scale beautifully, and even when they don't, there's enough pixel density that games still look amazing. If you want to go full screen, just toss on an interpolation shader and you're cooking. And honestly, numbers aside, I love this screen. Everything looks fantastic on it. It's just one of those nice, lovely screens where my brain stops thinking about pixels and starts thinking about video games. I genuinely hope that other handheld makers start using this exact panel. It's that good. We have dual front-facing speakers, which is great, but they're not like super loud and rich or anything. It sounds more or less like a retro handheld, which is fine for retro games, but don't expect it to blow you away. Headphone jack though, so if you want to plug in headphones or plug it into your stereo to blast Game Boy music and make all your neighbors super jealous. The system we have on here is TrimUI's thing. I don't know what it is. I can tell you that it's version 1.1.1, but that's about it. It's basically the same software that we've seen on the original Brick and the TrimUI Smart Pro. My review unit came from Lit NXT with one of their pre-made 256GB SD cards, loaded up with a much better game library than you usually see on stock setups. I made videos about these cards in the past, so I'm not gonna go too deep here, but the short version is that the ROM selection is really good. Proper game names, scraped artwork, fan translations, ROM hacks, all that good stuff. Much better than the random chaos you usually find on stock cards. It's also a SanDisk card, so unlike stock cards, they get points for not using the cheapest mystery piece of plastic they could find. As for the OS itself, it's fine, not my favorite, but it works. You get your games organized by system with box arts and favorites, an app section with tools like Moonlight and RetroArch and media players and utilities, plus the usual settings menu where you can toggle settings, adjust settings, and look at settings. At the time of filming, there aren't any custom firmwares available yet. On my original Brick, I run Newly, and I fully plan on switching to that here once it's available. Hopefully once the Newly devs get one of these, we'll get it quickly. They can't have mine though. I need it for Ninja Turtles. Now, when it comes to gaming, there aren't going to be many surprises here because this uses the same chip as the original Brick and the TrimUI Smart Pro, the all-winner A133P. It's a little bit more powerful than Amberlich's H700 chip that they have in their XX devices, just for reference, but not by much. This is still budget handheld territory. Everything up to PS1 runs great. NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx-16, arcade games, PS1, Nintendo DS, all that stuff works beautifully. And honestly, that's the kind of retro gaming that I care most about anyway. This screen was practically born to display little pixel sprites, and I am here for that stuff. Higher-end systems like Dreamcast, N64, and PSP are a lot more hit or miss. Plenty of games are playable and enjoyable, but the harder-to-run stuff can struggle. I saw some slowdown in tougher Dreamcast and N64 games, and it definitely didn't pass the God of War PSP test. Even at 1x PSP resolution with the 30 FPS patch, it was still experiencing some chug. There's also a performance switch that's supposed to enable a high performance mode, but it doesn't work. I tested a bunch of things and it didn't seem to do anything. Maybe it's a placebo switch. Toggle this when you need emotional support. So like if you're buying this for Dreamcast, N64, and PSP, you're probably looking at the wrong handheld. But if you're buying it for classic retro games and occasionally dabbling in higher end systems, you'll probably be pretty happy. We do have sticks now, which helps for those newer systems if you're going to be playing that. Personally though, I kind of wish that it didn't even have sticks. I like the clean, elegant look of the original Brick without them. That might just be a me thing though. Then again, this is my channel. All of my videos are me things. That's kind of how this works. Real quick about the battery, the first day I got this, I fired it up and started using it, and I sat and played retro games for like 30 minutes, and I only lost like a few percentage points of battery. I thought that maybe it was like broken, or maybe like the battery indicator wasn't working or whatever. But I did a bunch of tests and no, it's not broken. The battery on this thing is actually amazing. That shouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's 5,000 milliamp hours, which is already 66% bigger than the 3,000 milliamp hours that we had in the original Brick, which was already good on battery. I did a couple long battery drain tests, and on the low end, running an NES game with 50% screen brightness, I calculated this would last 12 hours and 30 minutes. And on the high end, running God of War on the PSP, that would run for almost 5 hours. However, like I said, the backplate does get a bit warm when playing high-end stuff, but it's more or less the same as the original Brick. Noticeable, but not really uncomfortable or anything. And playing low-end stuff, it doesn't heat up much at all. So, is the Brick Pro a pro, is the question. And the answer is, no, not really. It's not much of a pro, to be honest. More like a Brick Plus, a Brick XL. We have to wait for the Brick Hammer Pro U if we want a real performance jump. That one actually is a pro compared to the old ones, albeit at a much higher price. But honestly, I don't know if I care. The retro gaming experience here is just delightful. NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, arcade, PS1, even some of the higher end 3D stuff. This thing feels like it was built specifically for the kind of games that I actually play. The big screen and the comfy controls and the size and the retro vibes won me over very quickly. For under $100, this gets an easy thumbs up from me as long as you're not buying it for high-end emulation. If raw horsepower is your goal, something like the Magmi Air X or the iNeo Pocket Air Mini will get you a lot more performance for not much more money. But none of those handhelds are this handheld. None of them look like this or feel like this. And if this looks appealing to you, I suspect you'll like it. And if it doesn't, then I suspect you won't. And if you're not sure, then maybe just click subscribe. It might not make your decision for you, but it might help. Worth a try, right? I'm TechDweeb, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.